Now, there was once a theological student, and he was given a problem to answer in an essay form. It was an ethical problem, and the problem went something like this. There's a burning building on fire, and there's two rooms. One room has the most brilliant mind in the world. Someone like Einstein is in one room, and he's very old, about 80, 85, something like that. In the other room, there's a baby, and in there. And the fireman has only got time. He knows that there's these two people in these two rooms, and he's only got time to save one person. And the ethical problem is, which one should he save? And then you have to go into the ins and outs of it. It's not the answer to this particular problem that I'm interested in, but it's the essay that the student wrote. And in this essay, the student was going through the arguments, and as the tutor was marking it, he could see a particular trend going on. He could see that the tutor could see that the writer wasn't taking the views of, say, the Bible or the elders of the church or doctrine into account in making his decision. He was basing his decision wholly on what was going on in his mind, what his thoughts were and what his emotions were, perhaps, and it was just about his view of who should be saved. And the tutor could see that there was reaching a point where he was going to say that he was God, the student was God, the decision was wholly in the student's mind. The answer to the question who should be saved, Einstein or the baby, should be wholly left up to the mind of whoever has to do it, the student. There shouldn't be any other outside ethical considerations put into practice. It should just be the student's mind. And the student said, at that moment, the fireman was God. In other words, the human was God. There was no higher form. The human was God. As John Lennon said, no hell below us, above us only sky. You know, what is the location of God? You know, the location of God was here, according to the student. The human brain, the most advanced thing on the planet. That's where God is. And the funny thing about it is that at that point, the tutor wrote in red ink in the margin, quite neatly, he said, you've said it. Man is God. You've said it. And it was funny. And I mean, this made quite an impression on me. But the funny thing was, the particular student who did this, he couldn't actually remember writing this essay, and he couldn't remember those comments in the margin. So if I'd have wrote the essay, which I didn't, I would have remembered it, but he didn't, because it was just part of life, and there we go. But the location of God is an interesting subject, and you can locate God in the human mind. You could locate God in the Bible. You could locate God in the community, or the whole world, or the planet, or the whole thing. Or, you know, you could take a more traditional view of like the transcendent God, that God and heaven and hell are somehow, they are outside the whole planet, the whole universe. They're somewhere up there. It is there. Angels going up and down, and so another aspect of this is immanence and transcendence. So you can split the whole idea of God into the immanent God, which the student was talking about, the one that's very present, and the transcendent God that's somehow outside of ourselves. He told me about this, and I think I saw the essay, and found it quite and made an impression, let's say. Right, bye for now.